In this video I showed you how we can work with variables in PineScript, but because of way of PineScript works, that it runs entire code for every bar, it might be a bit tricky to create really complicated calculations for variables. So for example, here I created a very simple variable to count bars that are in the current bar set PineScript uses. And I had to be a bit tricky here because I need to define a variable, and after that I need to refine it. I use a variable from the previous bar basically, and I also have to check that it's not available because it will ruin the entire thing and so on. So sometimes it might be a bit tricky even for simple variables like that, but if you have something more complicated, you probably need some better tools to do that. So here there are two interesting kind of ways you can solve that problem in PineScript. So the first one is var keyword. So if you use var keyword when you define your variable, it will basically create, you can think of it as a global variable that doesn't kind of belong to any bar. It's kind of outside it. So basically it will create it only once at initialization, and after that you can use this variable in your code to update it easily without referencing previous values and so on. So basically here is the same logic as for like my previous implementation with the previous like a variable name from the previous bar. It's not so complicated, it doesn't like feel so easier here, but if you have much more complicated logic, it might be very useful for you. And of course it's also much more efficient in terms of calculations, because you don't need to recompute same things for the same bar and just to define variables over and over again, so you'll have only one copy of this variable for entire script. Even more interesting is a var ip keyword. So it stands for var interbar persist, and you can use it the same way, just put it before your variable definition, and it will basically work the same way as a var keyword for historical bars, but for intraday bars it starts to be much more interesting. So how work var for intraday bars? So basically it counts the values for historical bars the usual way, but when it ends up in the real kind of real data bar, what's happening is that for every price update, it basically forgets its value it computed for the same bar just a millisecond ago and computes it from scratch. And this is what's going on with it. But Varip is different. So it will basically remember previous value for the previous calculations it had for the previous tick and will continue counting. So I created here like a quick script, and let's just check how it works together so you'll understand like the idea. So I added this to chart, and this is on top you can see var keyword, and in the bottom you can see var ip keyword. And as you can see, vars stopped here, so basically it stopped at this value, and for every new tick data coming, it won't change. And as you can see, varip changes for like every fraction of a second and just keeps adding values to this count basically. So I think var and varip are excellent tools, and it will help you really a lot when you create really complicated scripts. And varip, it's very useful if you want to do something special intra-bar. So basically you can just create some sort of alerts intra-bar in a particular time and something like that.